Welcome to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. If you had to choose an imaginary friend, would you pick a manicorn?
A mermaid?
Or a murderous microwave?
Let's do this. Devil's Trap Podcast. I'm Diana.
And I'm Liz.
And we're going to talk about Season 11, Episode 8, Just My Imagination.
And there that goes, right back into my head. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I got out and about a little bit this weekend and went from Longhorn Ballroom to Southside Ballroom, saw traditional country, and then saw a chick who gets defined as country, but she's not. She's straight pop music. But it was entertaining to say the least, as far as high quality people watching at the Jesse Murph show, and then I stayed out late. I went to the club after. Like, who am I? I don't know, but I was tired. That's all.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah. And more important news than any of that is I did watch the first episode of The New King of the Hill.
Oh, yeah. That's exciting.
But how about you? What are you up to?
Not much. Just getting more pictures taken of my insides. Just trying to build my collage. I now have, I've got 7 pictures, I think, from the past 6 months. So I do definitely have the upper torso.
Okay.
So I'm missing some parts, and I don't know if I should just start making shit up in order to try and get the rest of them, just to collect them all like trading cards.
You need to stub your toe just so you can get a foot x-ray.
Well, I also just think this is like this doctor's answer to everything. So I'm just going to go in and be like, I have a cough, and see if that gets me an x-ray of my wrist, like just,
why not?
You can't get any cough medicine until we prove that it's not something within your physical bones.
There you go. Oh, man.
Yeah. So I mean, those are pretty pictures, and then beyond that, I know I haven't been doing a lot. I keep trying to get to the pool, and I got there for like an hour, like one day.
We've had weird weather.
Yeah, that's happened to me quite a, like I've had the bathing suit on, and then like the thunderstorm just roll in. And I was like, this was not in my weather app. There was nothing about rain this weekend. Like. Yeah. That's why in my head I was just like, oh, we'll do pool this day after we do blah blah blah. Like,
yeah.
And as I did all my chores, I'm like, you can reward yourself with pool. God damn it.
Yeah, get your choring done so you can go get some pool time.
Because you can't get in the pool until you get your choring done. You just can't.
No, because you don't enjoy the pool time if your choring's not done. Because you just think about the choring. Yeah. So.
I did get to meet a new little frog friend in my pool. He was very cute. And unfortunately, though, the little frog / toad, I don't know. His skin color is like the exact color of a reptile that makes me scared. And so I could see in the skimmer, like the colors. And I was like,
oh, no.
Is this a snake or is it and then I was like, okay, phew. All right. You're just a frog. All right.
Little frog.
No. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Just living the highlight. But I did finally get the life-saving things. So that came in. So I have the little slide to put in the pool so the creatures can crawl out.
Oh, that's good.
But I think they just get stuck in the skimmer. Like, I don't even know if I have that. I think they just get stuck in the current.
Yeah, I think that is what happens mostly.
Yeah, so I don't think that little ladder is going to help them. No, we'll see. Or it's just Texas and all the pool will evaporate from the water and they can just climb out. Water will evaporate from the pool. Yeah, you know what I mean.
That way. I don't know. Not with all the rain we've had. We'll see. But who knows?
No, I've already had to film because I've lost so many inches in the pool just because it's so hot and it just goes like right up in the sun.
Yeah.
Watch it go. So are you ready to talk about this?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
There is nothing in Jensen or Jared land beyond Jensen confirms season 3 of Tracker.
Okay.
And so we're still waiting on the new boys, etc. Those are coming soon.
Yeah.
And as a side note, New Wednesday starts tomorrow. It's very exciting.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that was out now.
That one's coming out. Yay, spooky.
Mm-hmm. I think they did some crazy collaboration with Wendy's. I keep seeing teasers about it, and I need to think into this. They
did something. The worst one, though, is the Freaky Friday. I forget which one. And there's just weird food associated with that. I'm like, why are you doing... None of this food looks appetizing. Stop making neon food.
But it does look like Ms. Lohan is pulling a Barbie and wearing inspired outfits at all the press stuff, which Gold Star missed.
Whatever you got to do to get it back, Lindsay. All right. So just my imagination, I can say imagination, I promise. I've had like half a glass of Champers. And so, woo, watch me go. All right. So this was season 11, episode 8. It first aired December 2nd, 2015. And it was directed by Richard Speight Jr. So this is Dick's first episode that he directed of Supernatural. And if you don't know who he is by his name and what are you doing listening to our podcast, he is associated with Gabriel and porn and just, you know, he runs, he's the MC at all the Supernatural cons along with our arch nemesis, Rob Benedict. Yeah. So this was his first episode in the director chair. And I think that's pretty cool. And you can kind of see like his touch develop through it. And because it was a good episode for directing wise. And we have a lot of things to say about the bummer of his fucking content. And for that, we can blame Jenny Klein. Now, Jenny was a producer and wrote for Supernatural for quite a while. And this was the last episode that she did with the show. And did you just want to fuck with us? Was that it, Jenny? Like, we're like, how can I make you super fucking bummed, but make you also have fun? I don't know. So we're going to start by trying to pronounce the name of this Wisconsin town.
No, I'm just not going to try.
Menomonee?
Sure.
Okay. Moni. So we're in Wisconsin at an adorable house.
Yes. And there's a young girl having tea with her imaginary friend. Like you do as a little girl. Making a little tea party. And her mom's like, hey, it's time to go to dinner. And Dad's just super annoyed that they're waiting for this tea party to wrap the fuck up so they can
Dad's got to stick up his butt. He wants to go for reservations, right? And Mom is like into super mom shit, right? She's been reading her manuals. Oh, yeah. She's trying to be like best fucking mom. She's watching her TikToks. And she has read that they need to be patient.
Yes. And let their daughter finish having tea with Sparkles.
Damn right you should.
But this kid's, I don't know, like, I get it, but she just kind of said something bratty. She's all proud of herself. They're going to party forever.
Asshole.
We're going to party forever, and Mom and Dad can just have fucking Cheerios.
But I'm also kind of proud of her. And I'm like, well, yeah. And so, but Sparkle is there's no S.
Sparkle.
Just Sparkle. And I have my notes in both. So if I accidentally say Sparkles, I am sorry. But Sparkle tells her to go with her parents and that they will clean up for her. And then she runs off and she looks amazing. She's in like, clearly her mom is also letting her dress herself and she's living her best child life.
And we see Sparkle for the first time, who is a guy.
Manicorn.
He's a manicorn in a furry coat with front hooves, a horn, and a lot of glitter.
He basically looks like if you told a raver, this is what a raver on acid thinks they look like.
Yeah, true.
They're like, I'm a unicorn. And this is exactly what they picture themselves looking like. It's not what they look like, but it's what they think they look like.
Yeah, I am going to make one judgment, though, because we do see after the mom and dad and daughter leave, he's reading The Velveteen Rabbit, and we zoom out and we definitely see that he's wearing some sport sandals with rainbow socks, and I judged them a little bit with harem pants.
To be fair. I mean, but also it must be hard to find socks for your hooves.
Maybe. So. Anyway, so we see the door open and he gets all excited because he thinks it's Maddie, his little friend. But no, it's someone with a knife and they are going to stab and kill Sparkle. WTF.
No! What the hell has just happened? So something bad has happened to Sparkle. Maddie and her parents come home. Maddie runs into her room and then she just yells Sparkle and she screams.
Yeah, because she just found dead Sparkle.
Yeah. She is traumatized. And we go to a title car. And then we go to the bunker.
And we've got a phone alarm going off. It is 6:30 a.m. and Sam is getting up.
And Sam, why is your alarm set for 6:30? You gotta, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, as someone who doesn't have a 9-to-5 job, like.
That's true. Why bother?
What are you doing? Get up at 7:30, man. Just, all right, come on.
And someone is we can tell something is following him. And he goes to the kitchen and he's just super sleepy and he's out of it, going to prep coffee. And he ignores this beautiful spread of colorful food and candy and cakes. And then he finally sees it, along with a dude in rainbow suspenders that he immediately punches.
Yeah. Yells surprise and gets punched in the face by Sam. And we learn that they are Sully and they have made all of Sam's favorite snacks and they're best friends.
Mm-hmm. Remember?
Can't you remember? And Dean comes out in a dead dude's robe.
Yeah. And he cannot see Sully because Sully is like, all he sees is Sam with one fist up, well, both fists up basically, and wants to know who Sam is talking to and if Sam is having a stroke.
Yes.
Sam is not. Sully.
Dean is also very interested in the snack food, as are we. But Sully then makes himself appear to Dean.
Yeah, because apparently Sully can do that on demand. Which raises a lot of questions about imaginary friends, but we'll come to those later. Mm-hmm. So he reveals himself and Dean makes fun of Sam's food choices from childhood. And he said he's going to get a gun. And Sully's like, wait, what is happening? He's like, no, I'm here because someone killed my friend. We're the good guys. We are Xana. We help kids. And I need your help. And the way that Dean said imaginary friend, which to Sully, which is more of a descriptive term, Dean was just being offensive. And so you see Sam as having a really hard time processing what's going on. Yeah. And Sully is just like, look, I just need your help. And Dean's just being kind of gross. He's not very nice about it. But he does I kind of get a little bit of his point. He's just being shitty about it, which is like, well, we help people and Sully's not a people. So like, what do we help monsters now? Because essentially they have always defined anything that's not human as a monster. But he's not a monster. But I know, I'm saying, but so anyway, snacks. I'm not saying I agree. Yep. I'm just saying that's that's Dean's definition. I also don't agree that you should put marshmallows on nachos. I don't think that's a good choice. I love marshmallows and I love nachos. Don't put marshmallows on tortilla chips, please. No, but you could put them on another kind of like chocolate chip and that would be fine. Yeah. So that's in my head. It is not a tortilla chip. It is a chocolate chip. And that's what I thought it was until I realized it wasn't. And I'm just going back to that in my head. So Sully, though, was the only person that, quote unquote person, that Sam ever told that he wanted marshmallow nachos more than anything. Then Sam gets to go to a card catalog and then he gets to reference it and then gets to use that to go get a book. And I just immediately splooged everywhere. And it was Sam with a card catalog. Oh my God. Librarian girls everywhere. Ah! Well, he has found a book on Romanian lore about the Xana. And so he's got this whole book. It says the Xana of European folk. I can't say folklore. Mm-hmm. I've been watching The Good Place and they say fork a lot, so maybe that's what's happening. So this book is marvelously illustrated, and it says in Romanian lore, Xana are creatures who guide and protect lost children. Xana intentionally appear as a figment of the child's imagination, allowing the child to move on with confidence once their guidance is no longer necessary. Aww. All right. So, but what I read, there are Xana in Romanian folklore that are like fairy godmothers, which is what Dean calls them. And they're kind of fairies who run around helping people. But I can't see this link between them and imaginary friends. I think this is fucking stretching it. So instead, we're going to talk about imaginary friends in the modern world. Oh. So this is lore.
in 2022, the now
Way back
in 2022. I don't know when you're fucking listening to this. It's also 2025, and 2022 seems like a goddamn long time ago. So the now Tribeca X winner for being an influencer or some crap like that, Lucas Rizotto, released a video titled "I Gave My Microwave a Soul with AI, and it tried to kill me."
Oh.
So Lucas is a self-described mad scientist making projects involving VR, AR, AI, etc. He once wore Snapchat glasses for a year to make his own time machine, but this video itself is the result of his experiment of making the Amazon smart microwave into something a little more personal by swapping its brain with a Chat GPT-3 model. So that was fed the backstory of Lucas's childhood imaginary friend, which was his kitchen microwave, who was an English gentleman named Magnetron. And it's very hard to write about Magnetron when you have Megatron. And my fingers kept putting E's instead of A's. And it was a very interesting episode, lesson in typing for this one. Okay, so according to Lucas, his microwave was a real friend who talked to him every day. There are videos from 2002 of a young Lucas, because he is that young, and his microwave. Lucas wrote down his memories and thoughts about Magnetron and created a 100-page, very detailed story about Magnetron's time in the 1900s, his time on the front as a World War I vet, his immigration story, and his true love for poetry. This document contained memories from his entire life, from his 1895 birth all the way to when we met when I was a kid, Rizotto said. I'm sorry if that's not the way his name is pronounced. We've all just decided his name is pronounced Rizotto. Okay, yes. So his victories, losses, dreams, fears, all were there on the page in full display. I was his god and his life was my design. So also kind of Metatron-y. Yeah. So the microwave still served its original purpose of being a voice-controlled microwave. He got GPT-3 to control it by training it to say a string with special characters whenever it wanted to turn the microwave on. As Lucas and the microwave spoke, a JavaScript bot was looking for commands within the logs. If it found a match, the bot would then connect with the microwave's interface and then triggered it to do whatever the GPT-3 was telling it to do. He also equipped the microwave with a mic and a speakers so it could hear a voice, send it to the OpenAI, and then deliver a response. So this brain transfusion was a success, and Magnetron was now beginning to interact with Lucas. He said the conversations were very organic and were about the time that they had together when Lucas was a child, and he didn't even have to prompt most of the things. They were just going back and forth about the time that he spent. But there was always something that was a little off. Magnetron would occasionally have these violent outbursts directed toward Lucas, saying things like, "Roses are red, violets are blue. You are a backstabbing bitch and I will kill you." So it escalates fairly quickly.
Yeah. That's an escalation.
Lucas realized that he had fed Magnetron traumatic memories, including war and the loss of Magnetron's entire families. And so possibly he created some kind of PTSD, or it's just an angry little microwave. So the microwave asked Lucas to get inside of it, unaware that it was a physical impossibility because maybe the microwave was not taught its own size. I'm not sure. So, but to make Magnetron believe he was obeying, Lucas opened and closed the door. Then the microwave turned itself on.
Oh.
So Lucas was like, "I'm inside of you." And then the microwave turned itself on and tried to kill Lucas.
That's distressing.
It is. So Lucas was like, "Yo, bro, why you do that?" And Magnetron replied, "Because I wanted to hurt you the same way you hurt me." Apparently, Magnetron had interpreted his story to include the fact that Lucas had abandoned him 20 years ago and now wanted revenge. So this is also kind of parallel to the Sam and Sully story, right? So in this story, Lucas moves on from Magnetron. He doesn't need his imaginary microwave friend anymore. That story gets put inside the AI's head, right? It's included in the story. And then so he interprets Lucas not being friends with him as saying him being abandoned. So now he wants revenge. Lucas tried to apologize, but Magnetron would not accept it. So Lucas once again played God and shut Magnetron down. This led to Lucas's conclusion that, quote, maybe AIs are meant to be more like imaginary friends. Maybe it's not about whether it's real or not. Maybe it's about whether it's real enough to you. So his video on the video that I made, the AI thing, is actually very, very well done. It's quite impressive. And he included a bunch of the news stories that were about this creation. And it really kind of raises the doubt of whether or not it was real or not. But within the video, you see him enter. Everything was real. And this was something that Lucas put within the YouTube. This project and the video are real, but a few bits, like the newsreel in the beginning, are jokes. And there's a story reason why I included them in this documentary. You see, the microwave story as a whole is about our difficulty telling between what's real and what's fake, and how sometimes we become so enamored by a story unfolding in front of us that we find ourselves believing the absurd, even if maybe we should be more skeptical instead. The newsreels introduce this concept from the get-go and make you question the entire veracity of the video from the beginning, just like I was questioning whether Magnetron's humanity was also real or not. But by the end of the story, what is real or not probably doesn't matter anymore. Even though there were plenty of reason to believe Magnetron had no humanity at all, it still just felt real enough for me to choose to believe it. And that's probably how you felt watching this video too. By making this video's reality feel unstable and have you question everything, I'm taking you on the same journey I went on, and ultimately taking you to a place where you feel a little skeptical, but still believing just enough to suspend your disbelief. TLDR, I added intentionally fake parts to a real story to have you question reality and take you on the same journey I went on as I created Magnetron. Edit. All of the conversations, real people, but the order was changed. So he really did this thing. He created an AI that was made to be like his imaginary friend.
Yeah.
And then his imaginary friend tried to kill him.
Yeah. And then just he embellished.
Yeah, but I mean, for reals. And, it's
wild.
It's wild. It's crazy. And,
and you wonder why I don't like AI. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I know it's not the same thing.
It's not. This is literal. This is a language model, right? So this is ChatGPT, the GPT-3, who basically was a language model, and it wasn't. So 4 is where you really start getting the I don't know, when you say like the learning. Yes, 3 is really just more about, ingesting things and interpreting the language. So but it is interesting, like how the humanity that was just coming, and it was like, it was also like, just like some other things was promoting Hitler, like automatically, like all roads led to Hitler, like really fast. And it's just, but it's, the parallel between that imaginary friend, right, and this imaginary friend as we go through the show, I think was just too good not to talk about. And, so the Xana, like I said, the Xana that they're saying are imaginary friends, I don't think they're Xana. But I think the concept of imaginary friend is still something that's really important. And I think it's something that is important to humans as we develop. They do stand in for a lot of things, and why we create them in order to help us like get through things that we're uncertain of, but it's just something that humans have done since, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how long, I just assume forever.
I assume so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one.
Yeah. So I don't know, it's interesting to think, as more and more people are trying to, I think, create really, let's say imaginary beings, right? And we talked about this before with the Brony people that were creating their Topos, like really wanting to take, that line where it's crossing the line between imaginary and reality, right? I think that's becoming like you're taking the imagining, even if you're putting it into augmented reality, I still think you're pushing them far too more into reality than they should be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, AI is slop and it should be burned down. Anyways, so Lucas has done a bunch of other things. I think he's going to be a cult leader, just based on his haircut and the clothes that he wore. He was in a bike accident, like a pretty gnarly one, about well over a year ago. I know he had a bunch of surgeries, but you can find his stuff on Lucas Builds the Future. He made, I will say, you'll need to watch. He made a working Marauders map, which was really cool. And he went to he rented a mini Hogwarts to go create the project. And he basically created a combination, kind of reminded me of Pokemon Go, where you had you had a real map. And then on top of it, you had the VR map where you could track your friends and stuff. So it was virtual reality, augmented reality. Right. So not quite there, but pretty close. It was cool. So, all right, like I said, I will take you join his cult. I won't. I maybe I'll give you $1, but anyhow. So yeah, go check his stuff out and think more about who are your real imaginary friends. Is it Sully? And once again, back in Sam and Dean and Sully land, Sam is trying to explain to Dean why Sully was important to him, right? That Sully helped him. And I honestly, and we'll get through this, I think half of the reason Dean's just being gross is because Dean's a jealous little bitch.
Well, yeah, Dean's jealous that he wasn't enough for Sam on his own, that Sam had to create an imaginary friend.
Yeah, but then as we go through this, we get to see, damn, Sam Winchester, your life was fucked up.
Yeah, it's even worse.
Yeah, so let's
get there. So Sam and Dean and Sully go for a drive, and they pull up to Maddie's house, and Sully has described what they are about to witness as a horror show. And he shares that he is now in management with the Xana. Doesn't really do field work, but he had to come visit Sparkle, and that's where he found. Apparently the kid called the cops. I mean, that's, she was freaked out.
Which is, oh my God, I want that I would do a FOIA for that 911 call. And I want to know how the operator handled it, right? Was it, because a good operator goes along with this shit, right? They are not knocking this kid down. So I want to hear what that call was. But anyways, the mom was freaking out. Obviously. And Dean's just all right, so according to these Xana rules, this kid's going to be the only witness, right? So let's just go inside.
So Sam and Dean have to figure out a new character, and because why would the FBI be there for this? So they decide to go in a different direction. Instead of the men of letters, what are they going to go as, Diana? They're the men of sweaters.
They are! They're the men of sweaters! Ah! It's so good. Sorry, I was very happy when I made that pun. All right, so the men of sweaters are going out to the store, but Sam is still trying to explain Sully to Dean. Right?
Yeah,
he was I didn't think he was real.
Even at 9, he didn't think he was real, and then he outgrew him, but he was a lonely kid. And Dean's you had me. And then we get a flashback, and we have Sam watching the phone ring while Sully encourages him to answer this phone in this motel room that Sam is in by himself.
Mm-hmm. A young Sam.
9-year-old boy.
9-year-old Sam is by himself in a answering a payphone.
In a motel. Uh-huh. And it's Dean calling. And Dean shares that he asked Dad, and Dad said no. Basically, Sam wanted Dean to ask if Sam could join the hunt with him and Dad said no.
And proceeds to explain more disturbing details. 1, John was taking Dean hunting when he was younger than Sam.
Yeah.
So younger than 9-year-old Dean was out there hunting monsters. Dean is blaming Sam for having an imaginary friend as a reason why he's not being taken as he's hunting. Yeah. Young Dean looks incredibly like a young Corey Feldman. And Sam has been left alone in this motel room. This is really just the most disturbing thing. Yeah.
And they hang up, and that's that scene. And it's very distressing.
Oh, no, there's one more thing that was also distressing. Sully was now we can make those bottle rockets because it's the 80s. And so not only is a child left alone in a motel room, they also get fireworks because fuck yeah, that was the 80s.
I mean, also, I think he deserved them after that.
Raise your hoses, bitches!
He deserved it after that. It's fine. It's fine.
You know, he should. So, all right. So we're going to go back to the present, to the also equally depressing present. We go to Maddie.
And we've got our men of sweaters introducing themselves as Doctors Strummer and McGowan at the front door.
And so, I'm going to explain this to you. Should I don't know. If I had to explain to people who Joe Strummer and Shane McGowan are, you should get off this. But all right. So they say that they are trauma counselors and they're here about the police report, which actually I think makes sense. Right?
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah. I was like, okay, that's a good story. So she lets them in and Maddie is sitting, staring off in the other room. And basically she says that Maddie has an active imagination and the unicorn man Sparkle was her imaginary friend. And she thinks that he is now dead in her room. And this is where Dean coins the term manicorn. So Sam and Dean are going to go talk to Maddie and they ask about Sparkle. And they ask why she doesn't want to go to her room. And she says, all the blood, which is a distressing response from a small child, no matter what.
Yeah.
But so they go to the room and it looks very, very normal. So mom leaves them there. Sully pops in and he is horrified and he's tiptoeing around the room and he rainbow boops their foreheads. And suddenly they can see, even though they have to be promised that they won't tell.
Yes, and they can now see the horror, the glittery horror. Because even when he's dead,
everywhere.
Even when he's dead, Sparkle can't stop shining.
There's a lot of glitter blood.
Is this what would happen if you were to Edward? But yeah,
it's such a mess to clean up. Can you imagine? Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
No, glitter. There was a sign that I took when I was on vacation last week on the ferry trail that said "Glitter is litter."
That's hilarious. Yeah. So it is a mess. And Dean's immediate comment was that the kid is going to need all the therapy.
And yes, she will. But how do you explain this to a therapist?
Oh, well, so anyways, so mom comes back in and she is straightening up, but she cannot see this. But Sam and Dean and we as the viewer can. And it is awful because she is stepping through.
Funny.
It is hilarious. It is hilarious. She's picking up bloody things. She's walking through puddles of blood.
But it's
she touches her
blood.
face. Yeah, it's glitter blood. And she touches her face and her face is now covered in glitter blood. It's a mess.
And she just wants to know how they get their girl back, you know, and everyone's just, but then they're like, well, Sam first is like practical, move Maddie into another room.
Yeah, she'll get over
that
it. But
seems fine.
And then Dean starts suggesting that a warm shower for the whole family.
Family shower.
Warm family shower.
And then she promptly throws him out.
I like that Sully's like, pull up.
Too far, man.
So, yeah. So we cut to a backyard. And a woman is reading while Zoe, her daughter, is swimming in their small above-ground pool. And we see her friend there with her in the pool, who we figure out is a mermaid.
So this lucky ass girl gets to swim around in her pool with a rubber ducky and a mermaid.
Yeah, bitch. And so she has found treasure, but Zoe has to go to gymnastics, and so they're gonna look at the treasure later. So the kid leaves. And our mermaid is just chilling. She's just being a mermaid in the pool.
Doing her mermaid thing.
Like you do. And then someone sneaks up and stabs her. And we get a bloody pool.
All over the rubber ducky.
It's rude.
Yep. So the boys and the Sully pull out. Sully is freaking out that Nikki never checked in with their home office last night. So this is what we're figuring out that Sully, as in management, is kind of controlled. Like they check in, like he is the Bobby for the Xana, but they do it telepathically. And she didn't check in. Mm-mm. And then Dean is just continuing on dick face, like just being a dick.
Yeah, Sully's upset about this whole situation. And this big bloodbath, and Dean just tells Sully to let it out, but Sully's like, no, I've got to stay strong for Sam. And
which
this
is
like
so sweet,
super sweet, but it shocks Dean. Dean is very confused by this comment. And he's like, okay, well, now I'm going to be Investigator Dean and ask, why would anybody want to hurt Nikki? And she apparently her boyfriend was clingy, but her boyfriend's also Sully's best friend. So they don't suspect him. But Dean's like, oh, no, we're going to go talk to him. But we can't leave Nikki like this, floating dead in the pool. So what are we going to do?
And then Dean suggests they find a giant toilet to flush her.
So rude.
What the fuck? Like, oh
So
man, oh no. But so Sully goes off to go find their shovels, and we're gonna take those shovels right back into a flashback.
Yeah. So we see Sam and Sully are playing a game called Everthink. And they just
which is kind of like Never
forth.
Have You Ever, but without the booze and dicks.
Yeah.
So, but they're just daydreaming, and it's cute and depressing.
About flying and eating waffles, and then it turns to running away. And Sam acknowledges that he does think about running away. And Sully's like, well, you could just go to school and make friends. And
like a child.
Because I won't always be here. And you can be whatever you want, Sam. You don't have to. You're not Dean. You're not your dad. You are awesome, and your life is up to you. So let's run away.
Yeah, so interesting advice from your friend. So Sam decides that he's on board with this plan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we go back to the pool where the boys are in their natural pastime of digging graves.
Mm-hmm. And they bury Nikki the mermaid. Well, Sully is very upset. And but he's pretending he's fine and checking in on Sam periodically. So we cut to another house at night.
And we get to finally meet Weems. And Weems is awesome. Weems reminds me of Ash. And so
he's like if Ash and with a sprinkle of Joe Dirt.
Yeah. And so he is helping his charge hang up his sheets. So the kid's mom doesn't know that he was wetting the bed, but his mom's not going to wake up.
Because she drank a lot of juice tonight.
A lot of the grown-up juice. And then she went sleepy by juice box. So the kid goes inside, and Weems is going to stay outside to finish hanging up the sheets.
And he gets stalked, and then he gets stabbed, but they don't kill him.
Because they stab him through the sheet, so they don't know where they're stabbing him. Because it's really stupid to stab somebody through a sheet. You should stab them on the other side of the sheet, so you can see where your knife is going.
Very
and then we see that figure running away.
Yes, and Weems on the ground sees the figure running away also, and it is a woman running into a very, very obvious blue VW bug. And he telepathically communicates.
So now that we know they can tell him this, so he's like, Sully! Sully!
Yes. So Sam
but
and
why
Sully,
wasn't Nikki like telepathically? Why did the other ones go Sully? Like
maybe it takes a minute.
Yeah, they were surprised. I don't know. So
that's weird. Well, Sam, Dean, and Sully creep up to the house, and they find the bloody sheets with handprints hanging in the yard, and they go into like the detached garage barn thing that this house has, and follow the bloody handprints until they find Weems. And apparently he was stabbed in the love handle, and his fat saved him.
Because fat is the best. Hooray!
And Weems is shocked that Sam and Dean can see him. Rightfully so. But Dean's like, wait, when did you last see Nikki the mermaid? Also, I can't believe I just asked that. But Weems didn't know that Nikki was dead yet. So this is sad too. But also that's weird for a telepathic thing. But either way. So they also share that now Nikki's been murdered. Sparkle has been murdered. And Weems is extra upset because that's their whole posse.
Yeah, that's a bummer, man. You lost all your friends.
But Weems did see the chick run to the VW. And Dean's like, great. That's something I can fucking handle. I'm going to go look for the chick in the VW.
But first, before I follow this lead, I got to know. What's so cool about Weems?
He's got to know. Other than that mermaids dig him. It's because he plays air guitar.
And even with a stab wound, Weems shows them how he plays his air guitar. And I think Dean's heart grew a little watching him.
Yeah, I think this is a skill. Like if Dean could pick a imaginary friend talent, I think this is one he would pick.
Yeah, Weems would have been his friend. So,
yes.
He throws shade about him not being Clapton, and then Sam is left alone with Weems.
Mm-hmm. So Weems is like, wait a minute, you're that Sam? Sully Sam? Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
How old are you?
Well, that too. And Sam's like, no, I'm helping him out. He came to me. And Weems is just like, oh, wow, you totally broke his heart. What?
So then we go have another flashback, and then we can see that Sully has a bindle, and that makes him a bindle stiff. So John has called and changed his mind and now wants his 9-year-old son to go with him.
Yeah.
And by to make his 9-year-old son to go with him on a hunt, he just has to go catch a bus to Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that's just fine.
No
I'm just going to send my child on a bus across state lines. It's cool.
Totally. And Sully is like, is this what you want? Are you sure this is you? Because Sully thought him and Sam were running away together.
Kidnapped?
Well, yeah, and he's like, son, you're super brave. You don't have to prove that but hunting's not the only way. And Sam's like, no, I want to be with Dean and Dad. Period. That's it. And Sully's like, but I'm your friend. And Sam's like, you're my pretend friend. You're not real.
He gets really hurtful.
Mean. And Sully's just like, I'm here as long as you need me. And Sam's like, don't. I don't know why I even made you up. I wish I could unmake you up. Just go away. It's very sad.
It is. And Sully just wishes him a good long life, and he disappears.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't like it. And Sam leaves. So we see...
Also, what fucking bus station is, selling a 9-year-old kid a bus ticket to Milwaukee? Even in the 80s, right?
I feel like somebody would have made a phone call. Somebody would have made a phone call.
What? No, I don't sell bus tickets to children. Just basically, you don't do that. So, anyhow.
Well, Sully has retrieved bandages, and he is going to bandage up Ween, who is going to wants to check on Fletcher, because apparently Fletcher does have a very small bladder. So Sam and Sully are left alone, and Sam tells Sully how awesome it is that Sully helps everyone around him, and he feels awful about how they left things off. He was a jerk as a kid. Aww. Sully's just like, yeah, goodbyes are hard. I considered, I just considered you going off to hunt one of my biggest failures, but it's, I thought it was clear that you would be better doing something else, but I was wrong and it all worked out. You're a hero. You saved the world. Yay. I've been watching you.
Oh, and so, yeah, he's been keeping track of him and he's done good, but now Sam has a confession.
He's like, yeah, but I've also done really, really bad stuff. I don't know, letting
sucked
something out.
Sucked a bunch of demon blood.
We didn't list it all.
We didn't list it. We just started with the most recent, which was the darkness.
The darkness. And Sam's like, no, we're going to fix it. We think God wants to help us. I just don't know if I can do what God wants me to do. And Sully's like, how bad is it? And Sam's like, there's a cage in hell. Lucifer's in. I think I'm supposed to go there. Which does sound really bad when you say it, right?
No, well, he thinks that God wants him to go back, right?
Yeah.
So then Sully's like, ever think about running away?
And Sam says, I have, but not anymore. And we get a text from Dean. I found her. Here's the address. Bring Sully.
And so Sam goes, ever think about hot wiring a minivan?
So we see Dean tied up and unconscious, and our killer has his phone and a knife. Dean wakes up, and she tells Dean that his brother is on the way. But we see kind of Dean hunting, trying to chase her down. We get a little mini flashback.
Yeah, it was a mini flashback. Yeah, we just see that he was dumb and got hit on the head.
Yes, he got bonked on the head. And
concussion number 755 for Dean Winchester.
It's not good. You're not supposed to have that many concussions. It's real bad. So Sam and Sully arrive, and this chick has her knife to Dean's throat. Sully recognizes Reese immediately, and she wants to trade Sully for Dean because apparently Sully killed her sister. What?
Yep.
The fuck?
So apparently with her and her twin sister, so her twin sister was playing tag with Sully and she chased him into the street and he didn't see the car and the car hit her and it killed her. And that's why he got out of the field and he was too scared he would hurt another kid.
And this was his first case after Sam. And he is very upset about it. And Reese had to live with yelling at people that Audrey's dead because of the invisible man and all the shrinks that she had to see for
because
that.
She said that. Don't say that out loud, kid. Like, I don't like, yeah. I mean, even as a child, you should know not to tell that to your shrinks. Anyway, so she then got obsessed with folklore. Then she went to Romania and then she learned about Xana. Then she met a witch and then the witch also tried to tell her that the Xana were good. And then the witch were like, fine, whatever. Here's a spell and here's a spell and here's a knife. I will take your money. Thank you.
Yeah. And, apparently, you know, she wanted to remind Sully also that he wasn't just Audrey's invisible friend. He was her best friend too. And she needed him when Audrey died and he left because he couldn't handle that, what happened either. And so she wants to kill someone and Sam's like, no, we shouldn't do this. And Sully steps in. He's like, would killing me make you feel better? This is what I do. Whatever's best for the kid, that's what I do. So Sully is ready to sacrifice himself and let Reese kill him.
Yeah, because he's that good. But she's still so mad and she can't stop it. And then Dean gets out of a rose because a human being has tried to tie up Dean Winchester. And he's like, I know about revenge. That won't make you feel any better.
And I've seen real monsters. And these Xana are Sesame Street Mother Teresa's. And he said that when I wasn't there for my little brother, Sully was. Aww. So he said he made a mistake and that, you know, there's not a monstrous bone in his body. Aww. That's sweet.
It is.
So Sully apologizes to Reese. She's crying. I'm crying. Everybody's fucking crying. It's very sweet. And she drops the blade. And she just leaves to go back to therapy, probably.
Yeah. I don't know what was happening to Reese now. I mean, like, you can't, like, she's not going to go to jail, right?
No,
at least Dean didn't try to kill her. I mean, at least we have that.
And Sully assures Sam that he really never wants to see him again after learning about Audrey. And Sam asks if Sully ever thinks he's a hero to me.
Aw, because Sully's trying to be self-deprecating, and Sam's just like, one thing I've learned: heroes aren't perfect. Aw, and then Sully tells Sam that heroes can be scared, and also this thing may be something only he can do. So it sounds like Sully's like, you got to go in the cage.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what he just said, and it's scary when they know it's doing something important. So Dean's like, hey, Sully, maybe you should go check on Reese sometime. Just a thought.
Yeah, girl kind of like went a little psycho there. Like, maybe, you know, look, you said you were checking in on your kids. I don't think you were. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Sully agrees to do that. And Dean calls Sully good weird, which is probably the best compliment you can get from Sam Winchester or from Dean Winchester in this scenario. So we get a disappearing act from Sully after well wishes across the board.
Yeah. So he goes off, and then we have Sam staring off into space, and then like we cut to him staring off into space there, to him staring off into space in the car.
Sam wants to seriously discuss him going to the cage, and Dean's like, "Yeah, we can discuss it. It's not happening. Good talk. Bye." Sam's like, "No, we're going to talk about it for real." And Dean's like, "No, we're going to find another way." Sam just wants to know what that is.
And it fades out. It sounds like Sam's still going to the cage.
It does. Because Sam's going to go, you know, if Dean and him don't come to an agreement, because Sam's going to go on his own. So Dean might as well get on the fucking, on the same page here and just let him do it.
It's going to happen, clearly.
Yeah. Like, come on.
We see how this goes, Winchesters.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk about some of our pretty Xana.
Sure, we can do that.
Casting couch. It's the casting couch. Were they on that show that time with that guy?
So we have Sully is played by Nate Torrance. He's been in episodes of CSI, Malcolm in the Middle, House, Ghost Whisperer, How I Met Your Mother, Reno 911, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Superstore. He also does the voice of Clawhauser in Zootopia. Linda, our mom from Maddie's mom, was played by Carrie Genzel. She's been in episodes of Bold and the Beautiful, multiple. She was in an episode of Married with Children, Beverly Hills 90210, a bunch of episodes of Days of Our Lives, episode of Smallville, Painkiller Jane, Castle, and Walking Dead. She played two characters, Sky and Tony, in All My Children for over 100 episodes. She was Jackie Kennedy in The Watchmen. She was a journalist in The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus and Mrs. Check in Jennifer's Body. Young Sam, it's the first time we get this young Sam actor, is Dylan Kingwell. He played Quigley and Duncan in A Series of Unfortunate Events, over a dozen episodes of that miniseries. He's done quite a bit of Hallmark Christmas and plays teenage Clark in the newer Superman and Lois series. And then Reese was played by Anja Savic. I'm probably saying it wrong, but Anja. Anya? Is that what you usually say then? Anja Savic. She's been in episodes of Fringe, Flash, iZombie, X-Files, Magicians, Creepshow, and Tracker. She was Claire in Loudermilk, over 30 episodes, Odette in Nancy Drew for a handful of episodes, and Scarlett in Big Sky for a couple dozen episodes.
Yeah, highly. She was so good in Loudermilk.
Was she? I didn't get into that one. I'll check it out sometime. It keeps popping up on my radar. But Weems was played by Edward Witzke. That's how I think you say it. Witzke. Witzke. He did.
You're Polish. You should be able to say that.
I know. He's done a lot of Hallmark movies and Hallmark Christmas. So like not just the Christmas ones, but he was security in The Predator and has been in a handful of episodes of The Flash as Sterling. Zoe, our little girl in the pool, was played by Isabel Beach, and she plays young Laura Jean in To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And Sparkle was played by Everett Shea. He was seen in episodes of Tower Prep and Arrow, and is Ilario in The Magicians.
Woohoo! Yes.
Fun.
Oh, hail Sparkle.
That's super fun. I am not gonna lie. I know I like the sad part about Reese and Audrey is really like pretty bummersville. That didn't ruin the episode for me. I fucking loved it. I fucking love this episode. It brought me joy. It was sweet. It was important, and I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just traumatizing. I'm just like, oh my god, you killed a unicorn.
Well, that's upsetting.
Kill a unicorn. You kill
I don't like that they got. I don't like the murdered part, but I enjoyed affiliating a lore to imaginary friends. Even though it was sad they got murdered.
Sad they got murdered. I wish they would. I think they shoehorned Xana into that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wish Dean showed more dimension in this. I mean, I think if they had done more, I mean, I didn't look to see what was cut, but there's like two reasons that Dean hates Xana. And it's that he is jealous of the relationship that Sully has with Sam.
Yes.
And then it's the weird other, right? And so it's the othering of things. But these are like others whose only job is to make children fucking happy.
See, I thought he did come around well enough because he called.
It just took so long. Like, why did that take so long? Like, I don't know. I feel like
I don't know.
You hear like imaginary friends who are here to help children through good times. I'm going to go get my gun shouldn't be your answer. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but it's not shocking from Dean, I guess.
It's not shocking, but it just, I would have liked to seen a little more growth come out of Mr. Winchester at this point.
I feel like that's asking a lot.
It's asking a lot, but we're in season 11 and he has grown. He has grown. And I think he should have grown. I don't know.
No, and as much as they've like let like actual monsters go, you'd think he would like not go straight for the gun for this not monster. I see what you're saying on that. That seems a little aggressive out the gate.
Yeah, I think it's almost it's
forced.
The good and bad side, right? But I don't know. The struggles that is the Winchesters.
It is. I don't know why I enjoyed it so much, but I just love. I love the story.
Fun. It's and Richard Speight did a great job directing.
Yes.
I mean, but it's still, I was still like, oh man, fuck you! Like we're just gonna kill off all these things that are super great and just like
that's true.
And traumatize a bunch of kids.
Weems made it.
Weems made it. Yeah. So I mean, they were fun deaths. I mean, I appreciate glitter, blood everywhere. I think that was really a great touch.
It was really well done. And then God bless Carrie Genzel for the actress on that. To be like, I mean, how would you not like die laughing doing that every time?
Yeah, I bet there's some good bloopers. I
bet. I hope someone busted their ass in glitter blood.
Oh, yeah, that would be great.
But yeah, that's what I got.
Right. And on that note, I hope someone busted their ass in glitter blood. Cheers, jerk!
Cheers, bitch.
Devil's Trap Podcast is a Don't Be a Dick production. Meow.
Devil's Trap Podcast is part of the Ship It Studios Podcast Network. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Devil's Trap Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Devil's Trap Podcast, Twitter at Devil's Trap Pod, or you can email us at devilstrap@devilstrappodcast.com. Don't forget to subscribe, leave reviews, and share with all your friends. We're at all your favorite podcast outlets and at devilstrappodcast.com. I'm Babe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.